Hello, everyone. I'm WDSU sports anchor Fletcher Mackel, joined via Zoom by my colleague, sports anchor Sharif Ishak. And by now, many of you know the Pelicans have a new head coach. They hired 61-year-old Stan Van Gundy. This is his fourth opportunity to be a head coach in the NBA. He's formerly the head coach of the Miami Heat, the Orlando Magic, and the Detroit Pistons. We're not going to throw a lot of stats from Van Gundy at you. We're going opinions in this sportscast. Sharif, your opinion on SVG taking over the Pels?
Well, Fletcher, I like it a lot. At first, I thought the Pelicans would hire an assistant coach to be their head coach. But this makes sense because the team is young. Zion is 20, Brandon Ingram's 22, some other young pieces, and Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart. So, yes, this makes sense. A head coach with experience, 61 years old. He can help get them together, gel. I just want to see the relationships he'll have with the players as well as David Griffin because, he was once upon a time a GM with the Pistons. So we'll see if that relationship with Griffin and the players, how long it will take to gel. Also, SVG is media gold. So we're going to love that, Fletcher.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. The thing it says to me is that the Pelicans believe the team they have right now can compete for the playoffs sooner rather than later. You alluded to a young assistant coach. I think that shows maybe it's a slower process. Hiring Stan Van Gundy, a guy who's been there, done that, to me, says that David Griffin believes this team, the majority of this roster, can compete right away as soon as next season for a playoff berth. We heard your opinion. We heard my opinion. Now let's hear from our friend, Pels podcaster, Jake Madison from Locked On Pels.
He certainly kind of fits the mold of the head coach that they're looking for. A guy with experience who brings instant credibility to this organization, who has a strong personality that maybe just gets a little bit more out of this team and these players than former head coach Alvin Gentry is able to do. He's got a pretty good track record wherever he's been, taking the Orlando Magic to 4 seasons of 50-plus wins. Obviously was good with the Miami Heat before being replaced there, where they then immediately won a title. He'll step in and be able to get a lot more out of these guys. And you've heard J.J. Redick, Pelicans guard, absolutely rave about him and say he wouldn't be the player he was today if it wasn't for Stan Van Gundy and coaching him early on in his tenure.
Stan Van Gundy's deal with the New Orleans Pelicans is for 4 years. Financial terms were not disclosed, but former head coach Alvin Gentry was making $5.4 million annually. I'd assume that Van Gundy is right in there, maybe a little more, closer to $6 million annually for salary with the Pelicans.